So like the video title suggests, I sold all my Fuji gear to go ahead and buy a Fujifilm XH2S camera. So I did use this camera once when I went down to Florida a month or so ago, and I fell in love with it for the 5 days that I did get to test this bad boy out for some behind the scene footage from photo shoots and just vlogging style stuff. And I knew after using it that I just absolutely had to purchase this camera. It was like a dream come true. It really reminded me of the X-T4 that I loved a lot, with that run and gun style, with just better video that rivals actually say the Sony A7S III. And man, this was a no-brainer for me. So I'm not gonna bore you guys with all the superficial details behind the reason of the purchase, but we can go into a backstory of why I decided to get into Fuji in the first place. Towards the end of 2021, I was really just not having a good time with photography. I was taking amazing photos, and you know, you would have thought that it was an amazing journey, but at the time, it just felt like I was just doing the same stuff everyone else was doing. I was just taking photos using off-camera flash, creating some really nice images and retouching the hell out of photos. But at the end of the day, like, I wasn't really enjoying myself with that process a lot. And with that, and comparing cameras from, you know, Sony and Nikon and Canon, it just wasn't as fun as I thought it was going to be when I first set out doing photography and this YouTube stuff here. But then I ended up using a Fuji X Pro 3 once upon a time, and I made a video on that being the camera, the best Fuji camera I ever used that I don't own. That really reinvigorated my my photography flair per se. So heading into 2022, I really wanted to emulate more of that film look, and I know now shooting film full time that it's really hard and damn near impossible to create that film look with a digital camera, but Fujifilm devices are pretty much the closest you're ever going to get to that, I believe. But I really wanted to scratch that Fuji itch, so I used the GFX systems. I've used pretty much every single X series camera out there, and I was really trying to emulate that film look, adding extra film grain to my images, switching from Lightroom to Capture Pro just because it handles a lot of those files and the colors a lot better. It was just a wonderful experience for me, but I didn't want to keep renting devices over and over and over again just when I needed to scratch that Fuji itch. So you know, come 2023, I went ahead and pulled the trigger on the Fujifilm X-H2S, and here we are right now recording on this beauty right here. Fujifilm seems to be very, very popular within a lot of the photography community now, and hell, I say use what you want to use. That's the best part about photography. Use what makes you feel good, and nothing has made me feel as good when shooting or doing video other than using like a Fujifilm camera. I mean, again, from the GFX series to some of the other X series cameras, it feels so good just being able to shoot with a camera like this, where there's so many bells and whistles per devices. You have like the retro dials, the film simulations. It just feels and looks good in your hand, and there's so much room for creativity with the Fuji cameras. And not to mention, the biggest selling point personally for me, those straight out of camera colors are phenomenal on the Fujifilm systems. Like, you literally can just get a JPEG, make sure all your settings are done right on scene, and then send those images to your client. It's super duper helpful. So being a portrait photographer, I couldn't just sit up here and talk to y'all in front of this lens the entire time. I want to show y'all what this camera can actually do. So I got some video footage and I got some actual photos out in the field. We shot with Kirsten, one of the channel day ones, and we're gonna go out. I'm just gonna show you guys how this bad boy actually operates in the field, and I will catch y'all after that part. I have a film simulation on, so I'm really trying to maximize that. I don't like snap that. 3, 2, and it's so interesting shooting with a wide focal length, like a 16, again, a 24mm full frame equivalent, but it really forces you to get some different shots, and it adds various perspective to your images. Can you try one like you're leaning towards the camera but looking in the mirror?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's see how that goes.
2, and right there, 3, 2, and 1.
Alright, I hope you guys enjoyed some of those pictures and video clips using the X-H2S. Again, phenomenal camera here. This is probably pound for pound the best Fuji camera that they ever made, and that is a tough one because those medium formats like that 50S2, oh my god, that's one beast of a camera. I mean, even the X-T4 when it first came out was just, man, that was top of the line in my opinion. But this right here is refined. It is pretty much on par with every other video, like mirrorless video camera out there. And then of course the pictures with the 26 megapixel sensor, great combo. I mean, you can't go wrong with this camera. Also highlighting some of the gear that I got with my Fuji X-H2S. I got, right now we're recording on the Fuji 16mm f1.4 lens. So I know it is not the 18-1.4, and I love the 18, but let me tell y'all, I got this lens right here for about $400. And check this out. This lens, still brand new on like B&H or something, is like $1,000 US. So you're telling me I got $600 off on a lens that's pretty much still damn near brand new? I had to take it. I'm sorry. It was a no-brainer for me. So I got the 16mm f1.4, and then currently on the way is the 56mm f1.2, my favorite Fuji lens for the X series of all time. The weather resistant one that just came out, I believe last year or so. So I'm looking forward to pairing that with the X-H2S and really getting some awesome footage and photos. Overall, my final thought for folks that are maybe looking to switch systems, you never really know. It's a case-by-case scenario, and you got to do what's best for you. I personally knew that I wasn't really doing much with my Sony gear or cameras ever since switching primarily to film full-time. So it was time for a change. It honestly was, and to fit more of my work style and the stuff that I plan on doing in the future, I had to make the switch, at least personally for me. So I'm really happy with my switch here. I cannot wait to use this for months and years to go by and really add different lenses and whatnot to it. I promise y'all too, we are going to get a video using that 200mm lens. I don't know when, maybe before the end of the summer out while it's still warm, but putting that 200mm lens on this X-H2S is probably gonna give us around like a 300 something millimeter focal length with you know, the crop sensor on these APS-C cameras. So hey, anything's possible. But thank you guys for watching. I definitely appreciate it. Let me know in the comments what you think of the Fuji X-H2S or any of the Fuji cameras in general. Make sure you smash that like button, and also if you're not a subscriber, please consider subscribing to the channel so you don't miss any upcoming content with this awesome camera and from this beautiful face here. Thank you again. I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.